and Davison was transported to the hospital, so he won't be here. John?
When's the rematch?
2021. I don't know. I mean, we got to give these guys some time off, but you absolutely positively do that rematch. That's another fun fight for us all to look forward to in 2021.
Yeah, no question about it. Obviously, it was a great fight. I mean, we could go on and on about it. I did want to ask you about the scoring, and I'm not sure if you've seen the cards yet, but the reason it was a draw was because one judge gave Moreno the 5th round, which I don't think many people did. If Figueiredo gets it, that ends up being a Figueiredo win. So what did you think about the scoring overall, and does that change it?
Interesting. I didn't know that. But we were in the back. I went back halfway through the fight, and we were sitting back there saying this could definitely end up being a draw with the when they took the point. But I didn't know that somebody gave him the last round. So I say, man, you never know with these judges. You never know.
What did you think about the point deduction? Obviously, that's being debated right now. It obviously factored into the result of the fight. What did you think about it?
What the ref said was it was the 3rd foul. So normally in a case like that, a guy gets a foul, he'd be warned, But that was the 3rd foul, and I think the ref felt he had to get control of the fight and make Figueiredo stop, stop poking him in the eyes, stop kicking him in the nuts. So it worked.
I didn't get to hear it, but I was looking at online reports. It seems like Davison said that he was in the hospital until 2 a.m. this morning. I'm assuming you were aware of that. What can you tell us about that, especially knowing that we won't get to ask him about it?
Yeah, yeah, he did. He had some. He didn't feel good in the middle of the night last night, so he went to the hospital.
What's going through your mind when your main event's in the hospital the night before? I mean, is this 2020?
Yeah, after this year, man. Good luck. Good luck. Getting me to flinch at anything. But yeah, these things happen sometimes, and especially this year. Yeah. So, but he went in, he got taken care of, and
I was gonna say, were we in danger of losing it? I mean, was it that close to the?
Anytime a guy goes to the hospital, you're in danger. Obviously, we gave him, do you want to fight or do you not want to fight? It's up to you. He was obviously cleared medically to fight, but he had the option to fight or not fight, and he wanted to fight.
Got to ask you about Charles Oliveira's performance in the co-main event as well. I mean, obviously the guy's grown up in front of our eyes here in front of the UFC. What did you think about his performance this evening?
Yeah, he looked incredible, man. And there were some debates going into that fight. I thought we were going to see the old Tony. I thought that the last fight he was affected by weight cutting, and we were going to see, 10 out of 10 people tapped to that arm bar. The fact that he even made it through the arm bars is unbelievable, and just a testament to how tough and durable and crazy Tony Ferguson is.
Yeah. Clearly, you got another contender at lightweight. I mean, he wants a title fight potentially next. But I wanted to ask you, we saw the 257 lineup on the broadcast tonight. There have been rumblings of maybe Gaethje and Chandler on that same card. We didn't see it tonight. Obviously, that would impact the lightweight division as well. Can you give us any update on that? Is that fight happening, or what's going on with it?
Yeah, listen, this is the last pay-per-view of the year. I'm going on vacation tomorrow. When I get home, we'll get all this stuff squared away and get everything done.
Nice. Do you think that Oliveira now, though, is part of that conversation? Any title fight discussions that you have? I mean, he's in there?
The rankings are coming out on Tuesday, so we'll see where he ends up in the rankings. And without a doubt, no matter what, I mean, the guy's one of the best in the world right now in the nastiest division in the sport. So, yeah.
A couple other quick ones for me. Kevin Holland. Man, we've never seen anything like that. That was absolutely amazing. Can you just talk about Kevin Holland's win and where you see that guy going? I mean, this has been a heck of a year for him.
Yeah, fought 5 times this year. Destroyed Jacare from his back and was handling his own on the ground with him. And very, very impressive. I was blown away with him tonight. And I'm really happy for him. I like the kid a lot. He's a really good kid. He's got a great attitude. And you know what? He made a shitload of money this year. He made a lot of money. And couldn't happen to a better guy.
Last thing for me, obviously, everybody's talking about the roster moves, right? The things that you got to do before the end of the year. I'm curious, names like Jacare, names like Junior Dos Santos, guys that are kind of, established former champions but are on losing streaks. Would you look at those two guys as names that are potentially on the chopping block?
I mean, that's every weekend. I mean, we'll be talking about this next weekend too, after the fights. It's part of the sport. And yeah, I mean, I think over the next, between last year and next year, you're going to see a lot of the old big names, moving on and retiring.
So Dana, not talking about his contract status, but that's 4 losses in a row for Junior and 4 by being knocked out. Do you think maybe it's time he starts looking at his future in fighting in general?
I do. Yep.
With Fiziev earlier today got us beat Moicano. He looks very exciting, a great addition to the roster, but great to see where he goes in the roster. Did you think that was a fair stoppage? There's some talk that maybe Moicano is still in the fight and could...
So, when we're shooting a fight, okay, and this has happened to us before, it drives me friggin' nuts. So, he's on top of him, hits him with that beautiful 3-punch combination, gets on top of him, and the ref stops the fight, right? As soon as the ref stops the fight, he starts arguing with him, right? So sometimes what our guys will do, they pan away and they go to the guy who won. He's celebrating and whatever. And you don't see him try to stand up and fall back down. Moicano was done. He could not get up. He couldn't walk. And he was stumbling all over the place trying to stand up. And the production stayed on it. So the fans see that, so nobody's at home going, that was a bullshit stoppage. That was stopped too soon. There's no way that fight was stopped too soon. That was a beautiful stoppage by the ref and an unbelievable combination that he threw to win the fight.
Good. You mentioned that you thought you were going to see the old Tony Ferguson. It's 2 losses in a row. It's not the most, but is it possible that the old Tony Ferguson is no longer and that Tony's now on a decline?
Yeah, of course that's possible. But Tony needs to go home and spend the holidays with his family, take some time off, and think about what he wants to do next year. And
Нервы натянутые, как струна. Принятие решений здесь и сейчас. Холодная голова при бушующем адреналине.
We'll see what's next for him. But yes, that's every time you fight, in this business, that's always possible.
And last thing from me, if you could put it into a word or into a feeling, how relieved are you that this year is over?
Yeah, it's funny because every time we've been talking through this year, I've been telling you, I can't wait for this year to be over. I can't wait for this year to be over. But, I don't know what I expected for 2021, but it doesn't look like it's going to be any different. It's going to be a lot of the same shit next year. But this year was a great year for us, man. We had a great year, great fights. Business has never been better. I did an interview the other day with Dan Wetzel and walked through the business with him, and basically our business is up. We broke records this year in almost every category except live gate. So 2020 was a horrible year in many ways, for all of us personally and professionally, but it was a great year for the UFC.
Just a follow up on that. Knowing that 2021 is probably going to be full of shit as well,